Toast to the stars over the oceans flow away, emotions in the air. You do what you say. So do I. I'm not gonna threaten to kill you. I'm going to kill you. Whether you tell me or not. No bargaining. In 3 minutes, you're dead. Time's up. Mr. Reese.
You know what Joss sacrificed to bring this man down on her terms? Legal terms.
Everything.
Yes. So if you're gonna kill Mr. Quinn, don't imagine that you're doing it in her name. That's not what she would have wanted.
You should have killed him in the first place. I did. Revenge.
That's not our purpose. We save lives. You save lives.
Not all of them.
I don't know. I felt like from the start it was just that it was slowly building up. Like, I feel like it wasn't just a key thing, one whole key thing that has led me to it. I felt like over time it was slowly building up. And then when I started transferring and losing jobs left, right, and center, and then going through what I was going through with my family in the last 6 months, I felt like it was just slowly building up. And then finally, when I decided to, when I was traveling with my new job, I was just traveling. I was grinding again. I was going at it, but even harder and longer. Way longer than the 8 to 10 hour, 9 hour days working for the first job that I ever really had, where I got to work full time. And it just keep going longer and longer, from 10 hours a day to about 12 to 13 hours a day. And I was working about 60 or 70 hours a week, and I was constantly on the road. I just felt like it got to the point where my intrusive thoughts started taking over. It started becoming, I guess you would say, a hood that I put on top of my head. And I felt like the darkness in my mind and my mental capacity, my mental health was just taking a toll, and it was just going right over my head, and it was slowly going to start suffocating me if I let it. And by the time, I don't know, it felt like at one point in my job where I had a very sharp object in my hand, and I felt like that's where I hit rock bottom for myself. I was standing there with that sharp object and thinking about it, but I didn't do it. I didn't do it. Of striking myself on my right arm multiple times. I thought about that multiple times. And then thinking to myself, like, what's going to happen if I do this by myself? Just being left alone for like 5 minutes. What's going to happen to me? And just all the intrusive thoughts and all these different things I never thought I would ever think about ever after everything that I had gone through the last few years. I just never thought I sunk so low. And I wasn't getting much sleep, and I was drinking a lot. And I sunk really low. I really, really did. And I think the one time where I sunk so low was when it was a weekend when I got up. No, it was the night before. I had to get up super early to go help somebody with something, to go help move like furniture or whatever. And I just remember that night after I got done with work, because at this time I was working from home full time, and I just got really down in the dumps. I was really low and I was really sad. I had a bottle of vodka in the fridge that I bought a long time ago. It had been sitting in the freezer for a while, and I decided I wanted to start drinking because I was in a lot of pain mentally. I don't know what led me really to that point, but I just remember sinking so low, and I think by that point, that hood that I had over my head finally just decided, we're gonna suffocate you, these thoughts are gonna get even worse, unless you do something about it, kind of thing. And I just took that bottle of vodka out of the freezer, and I grabbed a shot glass, and I was thinking like, oh, one or two shots will do it, I'll be fine. And I just sat in my living room by myself, and I just started taking shots constantly. I was slowly at it. I kept telling myself, yeah, let's see how many shots I can do. I'm not going to get drunk to it. I'm just going to see how many I can do. And so I did. And I got drunk that night. I just remember lying in my chair watching TV and just sitting there wondering, why am I doing this to myself? And I looked up at the ceiling, and then I stumbled into the bathroom, and I saw myself in the mirror, and I'm like, what are you doing to yourself? And there was a picture that from that day. I believe it was from that day. I don't really remember what happened much that night, other than what I had on my phone from, I guess something in my mind wanted to tell me to remind myself what was going on and what was happening to me in that moment. But when I look at my phone, when I was looking through my Snapchat, I saw a picture of basically my eyes looking bloodshot. Well, not even bloodshot, but they were really heavy because my eyelids were basically over my eyes completely, like basically looking like I fell asleep. And it captioned saying, remember how miserable you felt. And then the next picture from that night, I'm guessing it was later on in the evening because it was kind of a dark photo. I had a mechanical pencil, and I took it, and I just remember I sunk so low, and whatever I was watching on TV wasn't really helping the situation either, I guess. And I got up from my chair and just went to bed and fell asleep, like just face planted into my bed that night. And I woke up that next morning, and I was hungover, but I was also agitated. I woke up at like 5 in the morning, and I even remember calling this person that I was supposed to go help move furniture. I was like, yeah, hey, I'm on my way. And they're like, do you realize what time it is? And I'm like, yeah, it's 5 in the morning. I can't really sleep, so I'm coming over. And I just drove that day way above the speeding limit, that, like I said, going maybe 10 or 15 miles over the speed limit. I don't know, I was going pretty fast, but I wasn't really caring about the speed limit, so I was like, I'm just gonna go, I'm gonna get this over with. I just remember hoping, and I'd say praying, but I wasn't praying for it, but I was hoping somebody came by and just hit me, put me out of my misery, because at that point, I sunk really, really low. I think it took from leaving that job and kind of taking a month off, and then understanding what was happening to myself and the destructive thoughts, and just not being really happy anymore. I was angry with the world. I just was. If it wasn't for going back to church, I mean, church doesn't solve all your problems. But if it wasn't for me wanting to go back to church on simply an impulse, because before I even decided to even go back to church, when I first moved to where I currently live now, I tried to go to church by myself when I first moved here, because I'm like, church is an opportunity. Even my father has brought up about church is a really good place to go and meet people and like get connections within the community, because a lot of people go to church, and given the fact where I'm at, it's a lot larger of a community than where I was originally from, even though I'm only an hour away. The church was a big place to start that, because I didn't really know anybody coming into where I live now. I didn't really have connections other than maybe people that moved from where I was originally from to where I am now. I was alone. But I just remember when I did try going back to church and finding a different church, just kind of exploring my options, since there's more places to go to church. I didn't really go to any other church for like another year up until I went to the church I'm currently going to now, and hopefully stay at for a long time and do a lot of great things with them. I don't know, it seemed like since going back, I've completely changed, and I feel so much happier, and I am so much more at peace with myself and essentially starting over with my past. And just, I guess not, I mentioned about my past. I mean, I've looked into it and learned about it, and I've grown from it, and I don't want to live in there anymore, because I feel like that was the whole problem of me trying to move on from everything. And then I just kept reliving in the past. And then once I've gotten to church and just come to terms with myself, and then realizing that I was going down the path I was going down wasn't really good for me, and it really wasn't, now that I've kind of come full circle about it. And I think I even knew with myself and all the intrusive thoughts that I've had, and I guess the devil doing the devil's work on me was just destructive. And I didn't need that in my life anymore. I feel so much happier. And I think even especially since I've been baptized, as of a couple of months ago, I'm so much happier, and I'm so much more at peace. I'm just ready. I'm ready to do good things with the church that I'm at, and realizing that all the things that they do is on a bigger scale than I didn't even think possible for a church to do. I'm pretty excited to be a part of it, and I'm ready, especially with the holiday season coming up. I'm just ready. I'm ready to do the Lord's work, and I'm ready to be a part of this amazing team. Just really getting to know people and kind of like telling my story. And then from the start of that, they did this reading. Oh, what was it called? Oh, it was a book that everybody read. And we all came together on Wednesday nights and talked about it every night. And that was when I found some good friends that I hadn't seen in a long time there. And we just started talking, and I felt like it was kind of like that time for me where I was like, I'm realizing what I'm doing is bad for myself. And I talked to people about what was going on in my life. And the big thing is that I kept saying, I'm here because I want to detox myself. I want to get rid of all of the bad stuff. And I want to change. I want to be better. I want to be way better than I've ever been in my life. And I wasn't, and I wanted to change. I wanted to be better. And even when I got baptized, the big thing I said was the reason I was getting baptized is because I wanted to walk with God. I wanted to change. I wanted to be better. The first day when I started coming to church by myself and kept going and going and going, the first thing I wrote in my Bible journal that I have now that said, Lord, I want to change. Help me do this. Why am I here? Tell me, why am I here? I want to help. I want to do all these great things. And then all these different thoughts kept popping back up into my mind. My mind was racing. And I'm just like, I want to do the God's work. I want to help people. And then slowly I've been doing that. And I am forever grateful for that. And I hope to continue to do that, especially with everything that's been going on in the world recently. And no, I'm not going to talk politics. I'm talking about religion right now. I'm talking about religion right now, people. That's the only thing I'm going to ever talk about when making a video and just sitting here rambling to you. That's what I want to do with my life. Walk with God, talk about Him, spread all the happiness that I can, keep my mom's memory alive, tell my story about her, because she's worth telling to people. I think if she was here right now, she would be overjoyed doing cartwheels for days, because I feel like she's one of those people that should not be forgotten about, because she's done so many great things in the short amount of time she had on this earth. 50 some years. I'm not gonna give her age, mostly because I don't remember, sorry. But 50 some years of her life, and I feel like I want to carry that torch, and I want to spread the kindness and spread the word and talk about it. And I feel like even kind of detoxifying myself and reading books like Granger Smith's Like a River, just talking about his story and coming to fruition, and just getting, I guess, the therapy, the realization I needed, and understanding the fact that I'm not alone, and the fact that a country singer out there, yes, he lost his son, and that's even a greater travesty, is losing somebody that is your kid. Understanding his story and realizing myself that I was down that same path too, and it was powerful, and that's just something I want to be a part of. I want to do that. I want to I just want to talk. I just want to talk. So, yeah. That's my story and I'm sticking to it. Hey everybody, it's your pal Jess here. If you have made it this far and have watched the full 3-part series that I just shared with you guys, first of all, thank you so much for supporting this channel. Since I've decided to get back into the swing of things of, as I mentioned, since the very beginning, back into the swing of things of all things of creating content, I am just really excited to share some very good content I have coming up, along with this 3-part series I just finished. So I just wanted to quickly end the video and end the series on a positive note and say thank you so much. I appreciate you guys listening, and hopefully it left some kind of impact on you that I hope in some way, shape, or form has. And if you are new here, why not subscribe? Because I will be making content. I won't have a frequent schedule as of right now. I know I won't be making videos every 2 years or so, but I will start making some kind of content. Thank you so much. Have a wonderful night, everybody. Bye.